Okay, I'm definitely going to get in trouble for this one, but if you're like me and grew up in some religious settings with some religious mindsets that said, to be spiritual, you need to be poor and, potentially sick and, it's going to be a rough go. I just want to bring a different thought to that. Jesus brought the gospel, and the gospel means good news. So if someone came to me and said, hey, I got great news for you. You can come, accept Jesus into your life and become poor and potentially sick. And that would actually be great news for me. I would like to hear that, hey, your life might be a mess right now, but it can be turned around by the power of the gospel. And, God can heal you. God can make you prosperous. So I'm trying to make a shift on that religious mindset that being poor means being spiritual. If you actually look at Abraham and, the men of God, they were incredibly prosperous. If you look at Solomon, there is a way to cooperate with God's principles to be prosperous. And obviously Jesus died so that we could be healed in our bodies. So, and, in the church these days, I feel like there's, in most settings, there's only two major problems. 90% of people's problems would be fixed by, money, if they didn't have financial stress, and two, if they were healed in their bodies. So those, I think, are really important things to maybe reevaluate. On a second point, a lot of people think, I don't want to be too greedy for money. I don't want to want too much. I don't want to be wanting more than just enough for me and my family. If I'm taken care of and my needs are met, then it's all good. That's all I need. But, and that, that's being selfless or whatever you want to call it. But really, if you can only help yourself and you can't help somebody else, I would look at that and say, well, wouldn't that be more on the side of being selfish where, hey, as long as I'm taken care of, it's all good. That's all I need. If you can take care of your needs and then take care of somebody else's needs, how amazing is that? God, Jesus gave the parable of the Good Samaritan, and it talks about how someone who was not religious took care of somebody who was injured. And not only did he take care of the person, at the scene of where they were injured or robbed, the Samaritan had paid and given the finances for that injured person to be taken care of for as long as they needed to recover. So, Jesus is actually kind of making it plain, hey, not only heal the sick, take care of them at their time of need, but also use your finances. You should have finances to be able to take care of somebody else's need as well. So I encourage you today, if you know somebody in your circle or in somewhere out just outside of your circle that could use even financial support, if they need to be healed, pray for them and heal them, but also take care and take the steps, do what you can. It doesn't have to be, maybe if you're just starting out, just start somewhere and help them on a financial basis as well. And, God talks about when we sow, we reap. God will take care of you. When you sow in, you will reap back, which is amazing in how God designed the world. When you plant seeds in a field, you reap a harvest that's way greater than the seed.